Hello everyone, welcome back to Siblings A&J Gardening. I'm Angela. I haven't been out here for a few days. Jeffrey's taking care of what needed to be done, what he could do, because we have been getting so much rain that we really haven't been able to do very much. But I'm gonna walk through here, and he also told me, because he looked at the tomato plant that I told him was looking puny. He didn't pull it up, and as you can see right here, it has kind of snapped back, so we're gonna leave it. As you can see, the grass needs to be cut through our little breezeway as well, but it's just been so wet. We had rain all day 2 days ago and then half of the day yesterday. Looks like something has gotten into the tomatoes. There's a tomato there, and here's one on the ground that has been bitten off of. And why do they pick the biggest ones? You know, this kind of looks like deer tracks here. So I'm gonna put up another alarm. Have our first tomato there trying to turn red. I'm trying to look and see. I know last year the deer came from that brush area there, and I can put an alarm up over there. I'm gonna have to get something, cut some of that brush back a little bit, because it looks like they've started here and walked up the side there. This is what I'm gonna spray on those tomatoes, and then I'm gonna put another deer alarm out. I sprayed the tomatoes with the deer and rabbit repellent. I put another deer alarm over there in the corner, and then I've dusted the okra with the Diatomaceous Earth. And I will be cutting okra soon. As I was putting the dusting, I'm gonna come back through and hit it with another round of the Diatomaceous Earth as well. But I saw okra pods. And where was it? Well, there's one bloom right there, as you can see. But there was actual pod, and I was like, I'm gonna be cutting okra soon. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There's one of them. It was more than that, but that's one of them. Look at that. We get the bushel basket because there's cucumbers. Oh, here's some more. You guys can see. They're really blooming. Gosh, that deer and rabbit repellent smells horrible. These are the cucumbers I picked today. Squash, zucchini, peppers, hot peppers. I'm gonna call it a night. I picked all the vegetables I'm gonna pick. I dusted what I needed to dust. Spray the tomatoes and put up another deer alarm. I'll come out and check tomorrow. Hopefully nothing else has gotten into the garden. There's a little baby pole bean, and I see one back here. Let's see. There they are. I'm gonna pick these. I didn't even see them hiding behind the leaf, but they don't look too, and they don't feel too great. Probably let them go too long. That's what I picked today. Cucumbers. I pulled a few onions. I have a zucchini in there, and there's some hot peppers. There were pole beans, just a few pole beans, and some some green peppers. I gave those to Daddy, and I gave Daddy some green tomatoes and also some peppers. And the okra, I cut 2 pods today, so that's encouraging. Nothing got in the tomatoes today, thank goodness. Daddy seems to think it was a squirrel. He said when it's hot like this, because it's really hot and humid here, even though we've gotten a significant amount of rain, he says put out a bowl or something of water and then they won't eat the tomatoes. But as you can see, we have some red tomatoes that they didn't touch. So hopefully I'll be able to pick those soon. I see here there's a green tomato, but it looks like it's been there a few days. That the squirrel, I thought it was a deer, but Daddy said he thinks it's a squirrel, but who knows. This is the apple tree. It's a shame I did not get 1 apple, and that tree was loaded. I don't know. Guess next year. This is all I picked today. Cucumbers and 1 large zucchini. I come out here every night, and last night I thought I picked all the zucchini and all the squash, but squash, zucchini, cucumbers, and okra, something you have to check every day. And if you miss one, you can come back the next day and it'll be like this zucchini here. It's too big. So I'll probably end up shredding it, put it in the freezer to add to my spaghetti sauce, or maybe a meatloaf, or I may make some zucchini bread. Things are slowly coming in. They're coming in, but it's a slow process. I went ahead and picked the onions in between these weeds, only because the last few onions that I've pulled, they were kind of mushy. And I think it's because we got kind of greedy and left them in the ground a little too long. Plus, we've been getting a lot of rain. We're going to have rain, I think, not tomorrow, but the next day. So I went ahead and pulled these 2 rows up because they are the biggest and the nicest ones of the ones we planted over here. And you can't really see them from all the weeds. And I don't have my boots on today, so I'm not going to... You hear my alarm going off there, sorry. And I don't have the right shoes on right now to get in all those weeds. But we're going to probably try to get those pulled up as soon as possible. Also, but we like them to stay in the ground for the July heat and the July sun. But unfortunately, I went ahead and pulled those up because I didn't want those to be ruined. But you can see our potatoes here. They're starting to die back and fall on the ground. The leaves are turning brown. So we know those are ready to pull up. But I'm going to show you all the onions that I pulled up out of those 2 rows. And they are very, very nice. Ooh, these mosquitoes. Let me go the other way. I'll give you this angle. But I'm going to put them in the shed on the rack, and that's a nice little harvest. And like I said, we have 2 more rows that we need to get to. They're not as big and nice as these, but still, something's better than nothing. I cut a few okra pods last night or yesterday, and I've cut a few more, but this is one that I missed. Okra is like cucumbers. You have to pick those every day. You don't have an option of letting them go, because you can cut them that size today and then come back tomorrow and you have one that big. I see a tomato here. I saw them last night too. That's turning red. And I could leave it one more day, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick it today. First red tomato. And like I said, it could stay on there another day, but I don't know that I'm going to get out here tomorrow. I think it's going to be Jeffrey tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this. Let it sit on the countertop. You see where it's split? It's split because we have gotten so much rain. But I went ahead and picked it. See if I can kind of salvage some of it and have me a red tomato sandwich.
Never show this part. I try to clean my tiller after each use, or every third or fourth use, or especially if it's real muddy outside, which it has been. So I spray it off pretty good. Then underneath, I'm gonna lift it up underneath the chimes. And get all that grass and stuff out of it. Broke this area up where we had some of our onions and cabbage, getting prepared to sow greens here in about 3 or 4 weeks. But I broke up between over here too as well. This is where we have our potatoes that we planted back. I think it was Good Friday, so you really can't see them, but they're in those weeds, and you know when they're ready, getting ready to dig, because they'll start burning off and leaning over. So pretty much when everything looks burnt and dead, we'll pull the dead part up, dig around a little bit, and we should have potatoes. But like I said, it's probably another 3 or 4 weeks. As you can see how they start dying and just lay over. I was taught, or I've read, where once they're completely dead and brown, it's time to dig them. So again, I broke up between the aisles. Like I said, another 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be digging potatoes. Removed all the grass and rope and landscaping fabric that sometimes gets caught up in there. As you can see, that's what I removed after only an hour of tillering. Now I'm going to put it up, gas it up, and put oil in it until the next time I use it. Again, this is my Troy-built Mustang. I wonder if anybody else has had problem with the valves going bad on their tiller. Because it smokes when I first started, I pretty much know that the valves are gone. And it's only 2 years old. It was, the warranty still wasn't, the warranty had expired. So I'm probably gonna get the engine replaced and put electric start on it that I don't have to pull since I'm getting older.
I'm out here today doing a quick walk through. I see we have several yellow squash. I'll let those stay another day. Found a lone cucumber. It's too big, so I'll make a quick cucumber salad out of it. It's one of the first cucumber plants I planted that we thought weren't going to come up, but they came up. The squash and zucchini look really good, really green and healthy, but a few of them look like they're trying to die back, and I think it's because we need a little rain. Yes, we have gotten a lot of rain the past, I think it'll be 7 days tomorrow, but it has been so hot and humid that things are drying out pretty quickly. So I think we're probably gonna have to get the hoses set up and start watering at least by tomorrow or the next day. Jeffrey sent me a video earlier this morning. These 2 areas he tilled up. He also talked about the potato plants dying back. And actually the other day when I pulled up the onions, I was gonna pull up these potatoes that came up through the compost pile. But the guy who cuts the grass here, he cut up the potatoes. I'm sure I can still he left me enough to pull the vine. So I think I'm gonna try to do that today. See how successful I am. They're gonna be little baby potatoes, I'm sure. Yeah, you see the little red potatoes. So I'm gonna continually try to pull these up. Hope I can film it where you guys can see it. No, that's nothing. Let's see. Okay, let me try another one here. Looks like a seed potato there. That's another seed. Let's come over here. Now, let's try right here. Some of the areas he cut so that I can't tell where the potatoes were and where they weren't. Next time, I guess we're gonna have to put up a little barricade. Please don't cut right here. Well, there's a few little red ones. I'll just keep pulling, trying to go through that. Well, these are a few that I was able to salvage. I see one buried there. I was able to find a few potatoes. I guess next time we probably need to put a little fencing around that, or say don't cut that area. But anyway, and over here where you see all those weeds, those two rows of weeds, I'll take you over there. That's where we're gonna dig up those potatoes. I think Jeffrey said it the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then this last row where you see the landscaping fabric, we have onions. And like I said, I'll have to get on my big boots or let Jeffrey get through there. But the potatoes are starting to die back. We'll be pulling those up, getting the ground ready for greens. But we thank you so much for tuning in to our videos, Siblings A&J Gardening. I'll show you the cucumbers I picked today. I have a few more in the refrigerator. I think either this evening or tomorrow I'm gonna make some dill pickles. I think I have enough of the 14-day pickles to last for the next couple of years, but I do need may do a few bread and butter, but I know I'm definitely gonna do the dill. But we thank you so much for tuning into our channel, Siblings A&J Gardening. You all stay safe and be blessed. It's a beautiful, hot, muggy day here in southern Indiana. I made it in right before the storm is coming, I went and sat and talked with Daddy for a few minutes, and the sun has gone in, the clouds are coming out, and man, is it windy. I hope it does rain because we definitely need some rain. It'll be 7 days tomorrow. And like I said, it's been so hot and humid that it has really dried up the ground. See how dry it is. I took those cages off of the 3 tomato plants that were dead. So I'm coming back out here now to put them away so they won't blow away. But this is our second. Thank you for tuning in to Siblings A&J Gardening. You all stay safe and be blessed. I will also add that that's why Jeffrey reinforces these cages with the stakes and the wire, because a few years ago we had a really bad storm and it turned over a lot of our tomato plants and ripped up the cages. But if you reinforce those cages with the stake, you should be good to go. I just made it home and it is pouring down raining. So hopefully it'll be a good deep rain where we won't have to water the garden. Mother Nature's doing it for us.